the home of the free and the land of the brave. Get up, pray up, coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up, we start you right, we rock your mornings all the time. Grab your coffee and your smile, join on in for a while. So come on in and have a blast, for a good time that will last. Start your day with a smile, the hosts that do the most. And get up, pray up, coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up, we start you right, we rock your mornings all the time. You grab your coffee and your smile, join on in for a while.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Southern Fried Podcast. I'm Rob. That's Dave. We're here to start your day off right. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Glad to be here. Have a great day. Kick it off right by joining Southern Fried. You did a good job.
Yes. Hope you got your coffee and you're fired up.
Everybody had a great weekend. Hot weather. Pretty brutal. Felt bad for my son. He got my yard mowed yesterday. It was pretty hot. Pretty rough.
We've had some bad happenings this weekend.
Had a good day at church. Church folks. And preached and was preached at. It was good.
Sometimes we can all stand some preaching at.
Yeah, I was talking to one guy. He was telling me his Friday was filled. His job, Friday on the job, was filled with drunks and thieves and everybody else. I thought, wow, what a day!
Wow.
Drunks, thieves, smart alecks.
What does he do?
Security.
Ooh.
Had no officer backup.
Wow.
I've had that happen before. It's not a fun day. I feel like they take advantage of you. Well, because of holiday, people get toasted up.
Yeah. Well, you know, people just act silly a lot of times when they get out there and they don't, it's a 4th of July party. Let's not put any, limits on ourselves. Let's just do our thing. And it always comes out stupid. Hey, here, hold my beer. Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah, unfortunately, you get that. People that might not ordinarily act up, they get to drinking and they turn into somebody else. If you don't drink, you can't handle being around drunks.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You live right, how much you realize how bad that is.
Yeah.
Nobody's impressed when you're falling down state, but you.
Yeah.
Somebody has to deal with you, I told this one guy one day, well, his sister was with him. I said, get him out of here now or he's going to be taking a ride. I said, he's not going to enjoy that. She said, well, he's just drunk. I said, yeah, but he's bothering everybody. It's not just being drunk. It's affecting everybody else. Nobody wants to deal with that. Can you imagine going to the store trying to deal with a drunk?
No. Nobody.
And I'm thankful I've never been in one, but they say the drunk tank is no place to be.
Never been one of those either.
And I don't want to be in one.
No.
Wake up in a drunk tank with your own contents on the floor. It's not a way to start any day or end any day. All right, the coffee is good this morning.
Yes, it is. Now, I want to hit the ground running on one this morning. I've been kind of, I'll admit it, I ain't ashamed. I've been kind of looking forward to going and seeing this new Superman movie that's come out, or fixing to come out. And I've always liked the Superman movies, going back to Christopher Reeve and such as that. But I don't think I'm going to this one. I think they have managed to change my mind. And this is off Fox, but director James Gunn revealed that the upcoming Superman movie will be about politics, saying the iconic superhero is an immigrant that came from other places. So Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and something we have lost. What is so wrong with people coming here legally? Why is that the message that these guys are pushing out? Oh, just let the illegals come on in and let's give them this and let's give them that. We don't need to know who they are or what they're doing. That's just silly, guys. That's just silly. Let's just fling them borders wide. Just let everybody come in here however they want to. Horse hockey. Horse hockey.
Yeah.
Come on. You know, Superman is a fantasy character. Okay? He's not real, guys. He's not a real person. It's a make-believe person. We're talking about people from this world, bunch of crazy, insanes out there who would seek to do us harm in this country. Why not have why not have a legal system for which they can come in by? Oh wait, we do. That system is in place. You can come to this country. You have to do it legally. You're not going to put the criminal in hard cases. If you're not a criminal in a hard case, you want to come to this country, feel free. Bring your kids. But you're going to put out multi-million-dollar movie. You're going to make about the political views that you have.
Yeah, they're constantly making or using media and music stuff to make their points. And some of them, it probably is, to just, they have a great, they're painting everybody up as a Nazi who wants to have rules, which that's just ridiculous analogy. Some of them have an agenda. They see America as not a shining light, but a hoarder of all the money and power in the world. So they want to spread that all around to everybody, no matter how lazy, sorry dictatorships they are. They want to bring that down and level the playing field where everybody has a part to it. But when you do that, then America's done.
Yeah, what's the point of that? They want everybody to be like Venezuela. They want everybody to be like, we have different countries for reasons. We have different values. We have different mindsets. We have different everything. But oh no, we got to all be the same. I don't think so. If our stuff works, and obviously it has thus far, if it works as far as economically, then get off us. But some of our stuff isn't working. I mean, we're how much in debt? 32 trillion. We got to fix that. But we're still better off than all these other countries, and we need to quit borrowing money to give away to other countries too.
I never understood how the people that feel that way, who have built their empires here in America, how they can't see when you create that kind of chaos. At some point, if it got bad enough, they'd take your mansion down too. They'd take your money.
Absolutely.
You've created the monster that's going to eat you. They just can't see it.
And they won't.
Sad.
It is. It is very, very sad. But I hate to say I'm not going to support something. I'm not going to support this movie. The director says, yes, it plays differently. It's about human kindness. And obviously there will be some jerks out there who are just not kind and will take it as offensive just because it's about kindness. But screw them. No. If that's your feeling on it, and this is the point that you want to make, that Superman is, like an illegal alien or whatever, which literally he would be, and celebrating illegal immigrants in this country, then I'm not going to get behind that. So yeah, I guess I'm one of the jerks that took offense, because it's not about kindness.
Well, it goes back to why I don't, and I love football or whatever. I don't watch that for politics. I don't. I watch it because I just want to see a good football game. Watch a movie because I want to see a good movie. I don't want. I mean, some movies are set up for that. I mean, you can make a movie and do that. But when you take a platform like Superman and make it totally into that, you have, it's about everybody. It's not, some particular group.
Yeah.
Superman is supposed to help, But more and more, that's what Hollywood does.
And it's just a fantasy show. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's just a fantasy movie. So I don't know why I'm getting so upset about it. I guess it's because they took something that I liked and turned it into something political.
Yeah.
And they're so bad about that. It's like us with football. Neither one of us watch football for politics. Neither one of us. I could give a crap about their politics. I want to see a good football game. Oh, I'm going to take a knee for this. Oh, I'm going to take a knee for that. Oh, I'm going to have this that I'm pushing. I'm going to have that I'm pushing. And everybody wants their 5 minutes of fame, and it just turns most of the country off.
Well, I think there's a problem. It's in the world. It's not just here. Everybody wants to become famous for having made some sort of change. It's like a legacy building thing. If you seek it, it won't come to you anyway.
Yeah.
Great people never ask, or people that did great things, not great people, nobody's great, but people who did heroic great things, they didn't ask for that to happen. It just happened. If you go out to invent your stardom, it's not going to work. That's why we get people like, without using names, those people have invented scenarios so they can look like a hero or look like a victim. People didn't go out to invent to become a victim. People didn't make a difference by not following the unwritten code at the time. because they wanted to. It just they'd had enough, and that day they stood. They did what they wanted to do, and it advanced ideologies forward. When you go out to invent that, it always falls.
Yeah. But there are real heroes in this world that we could celebrate. They didn't go out to seek to make themselves heroes. A quick example, and these people exist. I mean, and they are true heroes. And I'm going to give a shout out to one, Petty Officer Third Class Scott Ruskin, 26 years old, and he was singled out by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem for his efforts in saving 165 victims as the only triage coordinator at the scene of the floods in Texas.
And if you look at his response, he doesn't seek that. What he says is, "I'm just a dude who did his job."
Absolutely.
And that's the difference. You got these people that are trying to pump their chest and be like, "Look at me," but they don't even do that. They don't go out and do that.
No.
Or you got the opposite side of this wonderful gentleman, is the people that are running their mouth this weekend and made themselves look really stupid. One of those is from Georgia. One of them is from Texas. And it is horrible while we're still looking for kids to make those kind of comments. Horrible.
Yeah. This crazy knucklehead from Houston. You got parents out here who have lost their children. They don't even know where they're at, if they're alive, if they're dead, what. More than likely they're gone. And you got this knucklehead up there turning it into a race issue. Into a race issue. And this knucklehead over there said that, if it was turned around and it was black people, black children, we never would have heard this much about it. How do you know?
I think when people want to go rescue kids, they just rescue kids. It's not about race or color or anything else. And those same people would be out there doing it no matter what. And to say that and to basically say, what's the big deal? It's just a bunch of white kids. That has no place in our country. None.
No.
Nada. And she's being removed from a board that she's on. She even said, once again, social media, she said, I'm gonna get canceled for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Well, here's your sign.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us how evil your heart is.
No doubt.
My neighbor comes to me, or somebody comes to me and said, "David, I need help finding my kid." Okay, tell me their name. What are we looking for? Let's go. Yeah. I don't stop and ask to have a questionnaire. What color are they? Where are they from? What's their background? Are they looking
find a kid?
They're looking for a kid. We're looking for people that are been in a horrific situation, and for her to do enough investigating to find out that was, and I don't know that it was. I mean, I guess she's looked at it, found out they were all white people.
Yeah.
And now that's a point. Like, well, it doesn't matter. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what the makeup of those kids were. The whole story to me is let's find the adults and the kids, and it's a tragic story. I've never once thought about color in this whole thing. It's
Me neither.
She did.
I never, the thought of color never even crossed my mind until she brought it up. All I heard was 200 kids, 200 children, and how many hundreds of people, that's what I heard.
I honestly thought it was probably a lot of Hispanic children being Texas. Yeah. I had no idea. To me, we're praying. I mean, we're praying. As I stood up at church yesterday, I didn't say pray for the white kids or pray for the legal kids. I just would pray for they find these kids. Just pray for them. Pray for the searchers. Pray for the families. She just showed that she is, worse than any. I mean, I'll be quiet because I'm gonna get us in trouble. But it just angers me. And Candace Taylor from Georgia, I understand you're trying to tag on the MTG's thing about the environment, but that was a stupid comment, and you probably just ruined your political career. But if not, whatever. But saying that it was murder because we've been messing with the environment and doing things in the skies, and come on, let's just focus on finding kids. Let's not be having that kind of discussion. She's already had to walk back her social media comments and change them because she called it fake suffering, like it didn't happen. It was all made up. It didn't happen. Lady, there's over, I don't know what the death toll is right now. It's not fake. You have made yourself look very dumb. I'm ashamed that you're from Georgia. I've never been against you. I've heard you say things before. I know people in politics or that cover politics have had problems with things that you've said. I follow you on social media because she has promoted Christianity and things. She's a person that's ran for governor. I've listened to her. Why would you do that? Why would you do that in the middle of a search and rescue and a heartbreaking situation? Go there. Let's save all that. Just say, tuck that away.
If you're trying to be like a Marjorie Taylor Greene is very outspoken. She's very passionate, but she also has a sense of decorum and has a little bit of common sense. You don't go out and bash people while they're down. You don't. That is not something that you do.
Well, Marjorie's trying to pass a bill that we don't. Same thing that Florida Governor DeSantis just signed in, that they don't fire things into the clouds and try to make it rain or introduce chemicals into the skies. China's doing this a lot, actually.
Right.
And it's a good idea because that stuff's raining back down on us. And he just signed that in. So I get why Marjorie's doing it. And it seemed like she was trying to attach herself to that kind of thinking. But then she went further and said that it was fake. What do you mean fake? Like, I guess she's trying to say it's because they did things in the skies that caused all this massive rain to come down. But then she made it seem like that there weren't a real tragedy here. But she backed that up and said, that there was. But it was too late. She's already. Anyway, it was just a dumb place comment. You can find it out there on social media. And now they've made everybody in Georgia pay for that.
Yeah.
Especially
everybody, we're not like that. 99.8% of us are not like that. We've got some knuckleheads, but so does every state.
And she's running for Congress.
Oh, wow.
Out of here.
Yeah. All right. I would like this Perkins from over there in Texas. There's another comment that she made. She said, and then this is off Fox, but she said, Perkins added, this is her words, it's not to say we don't want the girls to be found, whatever girls that are missing, but you best believe, especially in today's political climate, if this were a group of Hispanic girls, you would not be getting this type of coverage that they are getting. No one would give a F. We don't care what color kids are. We don't care. On this show, we don't care what color grown-ups are. We don't care about color.
I got news for her. People in the South certainly ain't like that. No. Probably who she's trying to paint up like that. She's full of it.
Yes. And she's the biggest racist of them all. She's racist. I mean, how can you say that?
She just made Jack Wagon of the week.
Yeah. How can you say something like that and not consider yourself to be racist?
It's horrible. It's a horrible comment. It has no place in our society. Just go ahead and go into obscurity, and I hope we never hear from you again. You have nothing to say. You have nothing positive to add. You are a waste of any news print. You're a waste of space to even listen. Well, now I would just cancel her out. I wouldn't even listen to anything she had to say. I would hope that nobody would print anything this lady ever says again, because she is a full-on racist. And to say what the things she says, she's showing her heart. And I don't want to hear what happened 150 years ago or whatever. It's not who we are. That's not who we are. The community of America comes together and tries to find kids. You tried to score some points. You didn't. Sit down and shut up.
Amen. Amen.
And I'm not denying her freedom of speech. I'm saying it just in a way. I'm just saying for listeners, I'm just saying this in a way that nobody needs to hear your filth, your hatred. Just go away. Just go away somewhere. Nobody needs to hear from you again. I hope you never serve on another board. I would hope that she would get her heart right. I would hope that she would get her life turned over to the Lord and get rid of the evil that's within her, because those comments. There's things I want to say I'm not going to say because I just don't want the chance that it hurts us, but it just has no place in society. And it's absolutely, I want to say shocking. I'm not shocked anymore at most things because there's just a bunch of idiots out there, and there's a bunch of people who are full of their father, the devil. And I just don't understand how you can make those kind of comments, especially right now while these kids are missing. You are sick. You are sick.
We don't even know if these kids are dead or alive. We know they're probably dead. And you're going to throw gas on a fire. We don't matter what color they are. It only mattered to you. It only mattered to you, lady. You're a sick person.
I got news for her. I will lay down my life for any kid that is in my vicinity. And I don't care whose kid they are. I don't care where they're from. I don't care anything about them. That's an adult's job, is to always place themselves in danger in front of a child. And if she thinks we think of color when the danger comes and singles out and all that crap, she's stupid. She's evil. It's horrible.
I'm going to tell you something else. I'd lay my life out for anybody.
Yeah, not just a kid, but
not
the
just
fact that it's kids just makes it worse.
Yeah, it does make it worse. But you know what? I don't care about color. If I see somebody struggling and needs help, I'm going to help. You know? It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't. But y'all are racist. Lady. No.
Her boss is taking steps to have her removed from her board.
Oh.
He said the comments were totally inappropriate. I would have said it in a much stronger way than just not inappropriate. But I get it. They have to be careful what they say. They don't want to get sued or something. But I hope people in their hometown just I hope they come out and stand against that. Where was she from?
Houston, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Houston.
Ex-Houston official. I don't know where she's at right now. Chuck, stop.
People of Houston, stand up and just stand against this.
Yes. And it was the Houston mayor that he condemned her. He came right out and condemned her, which I'm proud of. I'm proud of that fact. Okay? He came right out and condemned this and what she said. And that's John Whitmer is his name. And he came right out and slammed her. You know.
Well, when she said, I'm probably going to get canceled for what I'm fixing to say. Right there, she had the opportunity to keep her trashy mouth shut. She knew what she was fixing to say was going to be over the top. She knew that it wasn't going to be received well, and it was even going to harm her, and she still did it. You are stupid. All that happened, and all you did was show it doesn't change how we feel. You just showed everybody. Anybody had any doubts if you were stupid or not? You just removed all doubt.
Absolutely. And you know, here's another thought for you. You know, she made so many obnoxious and obscene comments. Here's another prime example of and I want to make this woman famous because she is a racist. All right. quote, they want you to have sympathy for these people. These people. If you say something about you people or something like that, you're going to cause all kind of racist comments. But she said they want you to have sympathy for these people. They want to get out of your bed and come out of your home and go find these people and donate your money to go to find these people. Yeah. And we're going
yeah, lady, and we will. And we don't need your help or your money. So again, sit on the sidelines and sit down and shut up. And don't try to tell us what to do. Because we love people.
You're the only one that cared enough to look out there and see how many white and black kids there were. So you don't care about white kids. And you're calling us racist.
And another thing, she's implying because it's whites only that it's somehow a racist camp. That's what she's implying. She's stupid. First of again, she's just showing her ignorance. Listen, there are camps that are just black. There are camps that are just Jewish kids because they kind of are filled by families. They're in Georgia. There is a Jewish only camp. It's Jewish families that support it. They go to this place. It's a Jewish thing. But I'm sure there are people that are mixed or whatever in the group, but it's set up as a Jewish day camp. There are some that are more geared towards African American children that they're supported that way. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just they feel comfortable within their group, and that's fine. Everything don't have to be mixed down to that. We got to check off the point. We've got this many this color, this many this color, this many of sexual orientation, this many you say I'm this gender. That's the mentality she's got here. Listen, It's okay. It's not racist to have a camp where, I'm sorry, everybody's Hispanic or everybody's white. That's not racist.
And a lot of it has to do with denominational stuff.
Sure.
A lot of
church camps.
Yeah. It may have to do, and this was a church camp, but it has to do a lot with denomination. It was a church camp, wasn't it? Camp Mystic. Yeah, Christian camp. I don't know if it's church camp or not, but
there's camps for the deaf. They're all deaf.
What does it matter? It was kids.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. She sees color. We don't see color. She sees color.
And then she calls us racist. And I want to give another shout out this morning for another hero, apparently, in this. The camp owner. I don't know how many lives he actually saved. It does not say here. But he did give his life trying to save children.
I want to say it was 5, but I could be wrong. But he did that. I don't know if he had a heart attack or what, but he got distressed after they got to him, and what a way to go out.
Hey, salute.
Yeah, absolutely.
To you.
God bless you.
And to Petty Officer.
Pray for his life.
Yes. I got to get his name back up here so I'm horrible with names. Salute to you, Petty Officer Scott Ruskin. Salute. You guys, it was a horrible situation, and when things were at their worst, you were at your best.
And no matter what breadheads we have this week, they're honorary already in the breadhead of the week. They deserve it.
Yeah. When things were at their worst, you were at your best. And for you, over there in former whatever you were over in Houston, and what was the lady's name here in Georgia?
Candace Taylor.
Okay.
With a K.
When things were at the worst, you two were at your worst. We don't appreciate that. And we're not going to celebrate it. Grow up. Both of them. Both of you. Grow up. Learn some common sense, decorum, common courtesy. Have some empathy for the people around you. That's what it is. Nobody has any empathy anymore. Nobody cares. Oh, well, if you're not my group, I don't care about you. What if it had been a group of Democrat white girls out there. Would she have cared then because they were the correct political affiliation?
Well, what worries me is in America, and why this has no place. It's not just an ideology. What if this lady was your doctor? What if this lady was someone, operating on your kid and has that mentality? I don't want that person anywhere near my family because they're filled with hate. Would they give all their knowledge to help save my kiddo? I don't know. That's scary. Or what if this is a person on your jury? You're trying to, you got, being accused of something you didn't do, and all of a sudden this is your judge or this is your jury box is filled with people that think like that. That is absolutely scary, and it flips us totally around from the bad that we had in the South in many cases. I'm not going to say totally, but it was widespread at one point. Absolutely. It's horrible. Yeah. Convictions were already guaranteed because of color. That's horrible. It's evil. I don't want that person in any way connected with me. What if this is a person determining if you get your disability? Yeah. Think about it. I don't want to deal with that lady. We need to find out what she does. We need to make sure we never do business with anything she's connected to, because I'm going to tell you, she's not going to help us.
No. No.
And as a company, why would you want someone like that working for you? As a company, I would terminate her today. That's
the best job. The best job for her will be garbage collector.
I feel sorry for
let
her
collect some of the stuff that she's spewing out there. Did you say septic tank?
I said I feel sorry for the garbage.
Yeah.
That it has to be connected to her mouth.
Mm.
We know there's still people like that, but when they raise up and they run that mouth,
yeah,
it's just like you feel like you got set back 200 years.
But that's the point. They want you to feel that way.
Somewhere Dr. King is going, no.
Yeah, he is. Right now, I mean, they're doing the very things that they're accusing others of. They're accusing us. She's accusing us of being racist and being racist in and of herself. And letting that ugliness and that hate out and just spewing that garbage everywhere.
Yeah.
Over something that's not us. We don't care about your color. Quit making it about that, because it's not. Oh, and they'll say, oh, well, you just don't realize what you're doing to us. You don't realize how your white privilege is carrying you out and doing all this stuff for you. Lady, white privilege ain't doing jack for me. My white privilege is broken. It's been broken. My white privilege card don't work. I got turned down for a small business loan one time. The guy was really frank with me. He said, you're the wrong section. You're the wrong color. That was his words, point blank. And that happened. Okay. So what my white privilege get for me? Nothing. Same thing it's always got me. Nothing. Oh, wake up. Smell the coffee, guys.
I've always thought that it's like justice. Justice is supposed to be blind, not looking at who, what, where, what. Are they innocent? Are they guilty?
Yeah.
Government agencies should be working off the same thing. Are they is their business case good? Have they done their due diligence? Are they legal, a legal citizen that can get, whatever the rules are? I don't know all the rules. As long as you meet all the boxes, stamp it approved.
Yeah.
Those quotas need to stop. It's like the time I was told my kiddo wouldn't get in Head Start because I was white, made too much money. I wasn't a protected class, all this stuff. I said, well, lady, we done prayed about it, and God the Lord above done said we're going to be in this class. And we got there. And she said, there ain't no way. I said, there is a way. It's called Jesus. And I've already prayed, and I just know it. And she said, well, I'll run the application too, but there ain't no way. Well, we got in. We got in. We blowed their metrics up. We destroyed. She calls me back. You're not going to believe this. I said, I've been expecting your call. She goes, there's no way. We just now figured it out. I said, well, we had it figured out, a month ago because we done prayed about it. She goes, I just don't understand this at all. But you got in. I said, well, it was our seat.
Yeah. And I wonder how many times that people say that just to get you to not apply. Well, there ain't no way. Well, ain't no point in me filling this paperwork out then. And then they don't apply and they would have made it. And why does the Head Start have to be some type of racially metric thing anyway? I mean, that's just nuts.
It is really stupid. And I know there's only so many spots, but I have lived in this neighborhood for almost 60 years. I went to that school. My kids went to that school, or my sister went to school, and my kids went to that school. And now here comes the granddaughter, and they're telling me that she'll have to go to the school 3 miles down the road, and that's who they approved her for instead of the one that she's going to go to as a student. That is absolutely asinine.
Yes.
And I told them, but it's not their fault. It's the government. The government makes these deals. So I said, well, we're going to pray about it. And I did, and we come to fill out the paperwork. And she said, I don't even know what to call you. She said, by legal definition, you're not this, you're not that, you're not whatever. I said, lady, you can put on that paper whatever you want. I really don't care. But in front of my granddaughter, I'm Pawpaw.
That's it.
That's all I care about. I don't care what you put on the legal part of that paperwork. I don't care. But don't ever call me. I don't know. Don't say I don't know what to call you in front of my granddaughter.
Yeah.
Because by legal definition, they could have said, well, by legal definition, you're not her grandfather. Well, I don't need your legal definition. I don't. I know what I am. And so, but my granddaughter, I still love that. It was the best day because when it first came in, they approved us for the other place. And I knew it was going to change. I knew it. I told Kaylee. And Kaylee walks into that other school and said, hey, you got a nice school and all, but I won't be going here. I'll be going to the other school. They said, but you were approved for here. She goes, yeah, but that's all going to be straightened up soon because we prayed about it. And I'm going to be going to the other school. And they said, well, let's go ahead and do the paperwork just in case. Okay, they said, fine, but I won't go one day here. That's called walking on faith.
Yeah.
They couldn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
We never spent one day in that school, not one.
Wow.
That's what government race crap does. It's a quota system, or you fall into protected classes and they take care of you. I said, lady, I'm not rich. I'm hardworking. Good morning, Miss Jen. Good morning, Barry.
Good morning. Glad y'all are here this morning. Glad everybody's here this morning. Several folks out there. Yeah, I mean, this whole, the people that were victims of racism 100 or however years ago, 50 years ago, whatever. I mean, in my lifetime, it's not been that big of an issue. It's only been made into an issue. And most of it is politically motivated in making an issue. Most of it. All right. I'd say 90% of it. But, now it's okay for people of color to be racist toward white people. That's okay. We'll just overlook that. That's okay. We can be racist to y'all. But there needs to be a balance out there. If y'all want to talk about balance, what was it? African Americans made up roughly 14% of the population in the United States in the last census, I think. 13 or 14%. And you only need to be in 13 or 14% of everything. Right? If you want to be fair, I mean, why kick all the white people out? Why kick all the, y'all are responsible for 13, 14% of the nation. So you should only be in 13 to 14% of everything else. That would be fair. That's what your party is pushing for. They're pushing for more and more and more and more. And that's why DEI and all that kind of stuff had nothing to do with what your skill sets are, what your skill level is. I mean, it's all about, well, instead of getting the best person for the job, let's put this person in there. They're not the best at it, and they never will be, but, they're the right sex. They're the right color. They're the right thought pattern. They're the right sexual orientation. Let's put them in there. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your sex is. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your orientation is. I don't care.
For my money, if I go to the doctor, I want Ben Carson over my case. That's a smart dude. He's a Christian, and he's a smart dude. I want that guy on my case.
Yeah. Yeah, and Ben Carson is smart, dude. He is so smart, it's scary. And Dr. Martin Luther King was smart. But he wasn't only smart, he was empathetic.
Yeah.
I've been a huge Dr. King fan my whole life. And, one of the things when I got to go to Birmingham and work there for a while, I got to go by and see his house, and I got to see where some of the places where he was, and it was pretty amazing, dude. Just to hear the stories and learn more about him. I mean, it was just awesome. It was in the middle of summertime. It was hot. It was miserable, and I kept thinking about what it must have been like to preach in that situation. To get out there and speak and advocate in that heat and the oppression, not just the weather oppression, but the political climate, the thoughts that the people were, what it must have been like for him. My goodness. The amount of heat that he was under. And then, hey, message received. We got it. We got it. And I'm so sick of being portrayed as a racist. I don't care about color. I don't. Matter. Okay? It never has. Quit it. I'm good.
Hopefully nobody will ever listen to her again unless she has something positive to say. But listening to her, I don't think she does. So.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Here's another thing that is just baffling to me. Okay. CBS. CBS. With the whole 60-minute things that them and the president was going back and forth over, had the case over. They settled.
Yeah.
Okay. It was very obvious to everybody how much they edited their stuff with Kamala. It was very heavily edited. And they admitted that it was very heavily edited. Oh, well, we went back and we found a better answer and we substituted that in from what okay, whatever. You edited it. And everybody is mad because they said that Trump's case was frivolous, that Bernie Sanders said he set extremely dangerous precedent in terms of both the First Amendment and government extortion. You lied. You went back and you edited it to get the answer that you wanted. That's a lie. You lied. So, and he called you on it. And you would have gotten busted for it. Former CNN anchor Jim Acosta said that they paid a shameful bribe to the President of the United States in order to grease the skids for a media deal that, and there is no other way to put this, stinks to high heaven. you know, you got all these comments being made out there. CBS Paramount's being called spineless. That is an unconstitutional lawsuit. That's an insult to the journalist of 60 Minutes. You know, hey, guys, y'all been spouting lies and spewing hate against that man for how long? For how long? You all promoted the Biden laptop, the Hunter laptop, whatever. Oh, it's Russian. It's Russian disinformation. Is this? Is that? Um, I don't even want to hear. I don't want to hear it. Trump had every right to go after y'all, and he was right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he did. And I'm glad that they're paying out. Well, there, Broski, good morning, by the way. I don't know if he was a communist or not. And I don't know if he wrote his speeches, but he had the guts to do it in Birmingham, Alabama. Do not take that away from him. And I don't think it was bad for him. I don't think it's bad to put the message out there that a man should be recognized by the content of his heart and not the color of his skin. I don't think that's a bad thing. And I think it's gone to a complete 180 nowadays. Instead of being white versus black, it's black versus white. They're calling us racist. Whether we are or not, you're just a racist. You're just a racist. You're just a racist. As we're talking about this other lady, or I'm not even going to say lady, this other person from Houston that was barking off at her beat, she's the racist. She actually took the time to go back and find out what color those kids were. We didn't even know. We were like, holy crap, kids.
Yeah, guys, our discussion was not about the civil rights movement. It was about a lady who made a very stupid comment against kids. And that's the point, is that these people are in a tragedy right now. They're not just kids, adults too. And we're just gonna man up as a nation and do the best we can to help them. And we don't care what color they are or who they are. And if anybody's checking out at the door, they're sick. They're just sick. I don't want them on the search team, that's for sure.
No. Broski, if someone told you that there was a bunch of kids out there that were in trouble, would you go help right now? Get up off your chair. If, like across the street from you, there's some kids in trouble. Would you get out of your chair and go across the street and help them? Or would you stop and find out what color they were first? Now, that's what this lady did, basically.
Yeah, because she's complaining about you wanting us to search, you wanting us to give money.
You want us to go help white kids.
It's just sick. It's just it's just ugly. Ugly.
I know good and well you'd get out of your chair and go help. You would be busting out that door to go help them youngins. It wouldn't matter. White, black, green, yellow, tan, it don't matter. You'd have been busting out that door to go help them. Just like we would. Or like Jenneth would. It don't matter. We'd be busting down the doors to go help. But this lady actually took time to find out what color they were. Buddy, what kind of sick person is that?
Folks, don't forget tonight, as Mama said, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Miss Elizabeth. I know you would, Miss Jen. I know you would. The same if it was a cat. You wouldn't stop and ask what kind of cat it was.
Right. It's cat.
I ain't helping them Siamese cats.
Yeah, and them black cats, oh, the heck with them.
She just go help some cats.
Oh, and I could finish your education on him, Mr. Broski. He's somebody I know something about. I can finish your education on
If
him.
you want to know what we were talking about, there's just look it up in the news. There's a lady out of Houston who opened her mouth and showed how stupid she is about this camp and the kids. It's pretty well out there. It's easy to find. She is sick. Sick. That was the discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, they're talking about here's an example. First thing she did was look for color. And this petty officer who was from New Jersey Coast Guard swimmer. Okay. I mean, this guy is, pretty stout. Anyway, Scott Ruskin, third-class petty officer. He said, for his efforts in saving 165 victims. No mention of color. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. They were victims.
Yeah.
Victims. She didn't care about the color. He didn't care about the color. They were victims, and they were there to help. They didn't ask, whoa, wait, before we roll out, what color are these people? Oh, are they Hispanics? Oh my gosh, we can't help the Hispanic. No, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. Everybody rolled out and went to help. And without this help, who knows how many more victims there would have been. I read a story about one lady that was hanging in a tree. The guy went out on his back porch or his deck and heard screaming, and he's scanning the water looking for him. And he couldn't find him. And then he realized he was in a tree on the other side of the river. So he goes and gets on the phone, told her, hang on, goes and gets on the phone. And they had like 3 different branches show up. They had the Whitewater, emergency Whitewater. They had a Department of Natural Resources. Had the Sheriff's Department. They had all these people show up to rescue this lady. And they went and got her and brought her to the guy's house. The guy said, bring her on in. And they wrapped her up in blankets, gave her food and water. Talked about how she was in shock. Wasn't no mention of color. Because it didn't matter. She was a victim.
Yeah. Amen.
She needed help.
Amen.
And there's going to be hundreds, I hope, stories like this where they find these people alive and they're rescued. And I don't care what color they are. I just want them safe. These kids, I don't even care. I still don't know for sure that she's right. I don't care what color. Help them. If dear Lord, if there's any way they can be brought home safe, it's in your hands. And we hope that is the case. Sorry, Dave. I was feeling a little bit passionate this morning, and you were too. But that is hate and racism, and it needs to be called out. Whether it's white folks doing it, black folks doing it, tan folks doing it, Asian folks doing it, it don't matter. Don't do it. So, all right. Well, it be right at 7:00. Anybody got anything going on today we need to know about? From Dave to Jenna to Broski to whoever else is out there.
Just headed to work.
Heading into work. I got a kitty cat right here. He's been in a yutz. Got my cane out this morning, having to use it, and he's just fascinated with it. He's trying to tip it over and everything else, and I don't want it in the floor because then I got bent over to get the third thing. But he's sure enough believing it needs to be in the floor. So, well, folks, y'all have a great and wonderful Monday. Y'all got this. Get out here and get this Monday knocked out. Hopefully we didn't rain on your parade too much this morning. But yeah, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. So love you guys. Y'all have a great day. Thank you for the support. Like, follow, and subscribe if you will. And we'd appreciate it. And we will see y'all tonight on Mama Said. How about that? Give y'all a big salute, Dave. Have a great day.
Have a good day, folks. God bless.
We'll see y'all tonight.
So come on in and have a blast for a good time that will last. Start your day with a smile, with the hosts that do the most. Get up, pray up, coffee up. Welcome to the morning show with Dave and Rob on the Southern Fried Podcast. We get you up